Welcome to Gloria, the world, the story of a woman, my next chapter. If y'all have not hit the subscribe button to my channel, please do so. Subscribe and come back every week. I not only post this video about the story of my life, but I also post little workout snippets and little shorts and things like that. Grandmotherly advice for you. So subscribe and keep joining me on my channel, okay? As I've told you guys, addiction creeps up on you. Because addiction in the beginning is fun. Oh my gosh, you have so much fun. You are liberated. You see life in a different way. You see happiness. You see people that are like-minded, that love to get high with you. It is a wonderful experience. Wonderful experience. And we could not wait in that bank for those Friday night champagne parties. And of course, the more they went on, the more booze they brought, because the more booze we drank and the longer we stayed. And it was and this once again was when the drug trade in Miami was beginning to come in and become in full force. So the bank was making bank. Now, y'all know that banks make a lot of money. When they used to have your deposits held for 7 days, that wasn't to see if the check could clear, because the check cleared within a couple of days. That was because they were spending your money buying treasury bonds and buying bills that was making the bank money, and then after the 7 days, they released your money and was holding someone else's. It's still going on today, even though they release your money now, even though they won't give it all to you when you go in and ask for it. But that's another story. So this was all being done. Even the guy that owned the bank bought a huge bus, and he used to take people down to the Keys for the weekend. There would be people coming back in slings, feet cut, all kinds of injuries from these parties that they had. Now, I never went on those parties because I was married and had kids, so that wasn't me. Mostly it was the single people, and there was a lot of married guys that went that, without their wives, trust me, because that's just the way it was. So it creeps up on you, and you start looking forward to it. And then I'll never forget when pot was introduced to me. I remember finding a pack of rolling papers in my husband's car, in my husband's van. Now, he worked for Sears. He traveled all over. He went fishing. He went everywhere. So what he was doing, and he drank a lot. He was in bars a lot. So he was in that environment, which I was not in. I did not go to bars very much then. So he was in that environment. So he had started smoking pot. Now, I remember the Miami Herald came out one day with this huge, it was a full 2 pages on each side of the cons of marijuana, how bad it was, how horrible it was for you. And of course I read it, and then I found these rolling papers. Well, I'm thinking, okay, my God, I don't know what this is. Have no idea. Well, he still didn't tell me. He did not tell me. So one night, he and his brother, who was very close, he lived, as a matter of fact, James lived with us for a while. He's younger kid, but he was an adult and nice guy, loved his brother, home life really bad. So Stoney says, let's go to a concert. And I said, okay. I hadn't been to a concert. I didn't even know what he was talking about. So we get in the car and we go down to the Miami Beach Convention Center. And we walk up and buy tickets at the door. At the door, remind you. Now, this convention center was huge. I walked into that convention center, and oh my gosh, I walked into another world. When I tell you another world, it was nothing like what was out there. I saw all of these people who were smoke pot, lived the lifestyle in one big area. I saw guys there with hair down to their waist. Young, good-looking guys, too. Oh, my gosh, I was in hot heaven. I saw outside they had EMTs that were lined up for people that like overdosed, okay? But the EMTs were higher than the people on the inside. They had security, but the security was handing out drugs like it was candy. We walk in and sit down. We are in the second row of this concert, in front of the stage. I looked up and there's the stage right in front of me. I'm like, this is crazy. What? I mean, I am in another world. Now, I'm as straight as can be. I did not do anything except at that time drink on Friday nights. So I hadn't had even anything to drink. Sit down, and all of a sudden, who on earth comes out but the band Black Sabbath with Ozzy Osbourne? Now, I did not keep my eyes on Ozzy Osbourne because he was not the one that was up there that was really performing, but he had a bass player that looked and had a tongue like a lizard. I'm not exaggerating. I'm straight. I'm straight. So I am seeing this and I'm like, I can't be sitting here on the second row looking up at Ozzy Osbourne. This was when Led Zeppelin and, Pink Floyd and all of those, and Jimi Hendrix and all of those were out there playing and traveling, and we were experiencing all of this in Miami. It was crazy. So we're sitting there, and all of a sudden the guy down the way from me, he reaches over, hands me a joint and said, "Do you want a hit?" And I'm like, no, I'm good. So I looked over at my husband. He's sitting on this side of me, and I said, this guy just asked me if I wanted to hit on that joint. He said, well, did you take it? I said, no. Do you think I should have took a puff? Well, I did not take a hit that night, but I'm going to tell y'all, when I walked out of that auditorium, I did not feel the ground. Just from the smoke and everything, it's secondhand. Oh my God, I walked out of there as high as a kite. And that was another level of addiction that I had experienced that night that was going to be one of thousands. I mean, because it was now part of my lifestyle. Before, my husband had kept it separate, and now he is no longer keeping it separate. Now it is coming into the home. And I was accepting of it because I enjoyed that. I enjoyed living on that edge. I enjoyed being a part of that conglomeration that I had walked into, a new world that I had seen, that I had never seen in growing up in a straight-laced area that I did in the Bible Belt in Georgia. So this to me was a baptismal into a time that would control and run years of my life, and was going to get more and more and deeper and wilder and crazier all along. So I get up the next morning or the next day, Monday, and go on back to work. Had the two kids. We still had not bought a house. We were still, looking for a house to buy, and which we did. And so life went on, and we did not skip a beat. But that addiction was there. That time had become a part of my reality, a part of my lifestyle. And I was the real druggie in the family. I was the one that could never say no. Scarface had nothing on me. When you saw Scarface throw his head down in the pile of cocaine, that was me. I could never get enough. I could never get enough to drink. I could never get enough to snort, and I wasn't doing coke then. It had only started off with drinking, and now we had brought the pot into it, the reefer into it. So I stayed high quite a bit. Plus, when I was working at the doctor's office, I also got hooked on diet pills, Escatrol. Oh, they were time released, and they were wonderful. And I had a doctor that kept giving me prescriptions. So the drinking the Escatrol and the pot was just a wonderful high that I could do all day. No one knew that I was doing it, and was functioning. And it had not started to get bad. Actually, it enhanced our lives. If it had stayed like that, it would have been wonderful because it enhanced our lives. My house was cleaner. My husband was more into doing things, with us. I don't know what it was, but the family unit was closer. It had not started to disintegrate. And that's what the first part of this journey into the addiction, how it started. And I'll have to say it started with Black Sabbath, if that's possible. It started with the champagne parties at the bank, but Black Sabbath concert nailed that last nail into the coffin that would pretty soon, one day, destroy me and bring me literally to my knees and to a point where I knew that I was either going to die or kill someone or get straight. So stay with me. This is just the beginning of my journey. It's one that, as I said, I want to tell you every little bit about it, how it works, how it does you, and what you are up against if you're starting a journey of doing any type of drugs or any type of addiction. Trust me, it will be your downfall. I used to tell my grandson when I raised him, I said, if you want your life to go down the shitter, just start doing drugs, because it'll get you there quicker than anything you've ever seen in your life. So remember, hit that subscribe button now. Y'all leave me some comments, ask me some questions, do anything you want. If you want me to talk about something in depth, I definitely will. Y'all just let me know, and you know how much I love you. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.